This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to what is another video. It is an absolute pleasure to have you with me today. Thank you very much for joining me. Right. What did we have last week? Royal Ascot, a good solid week last week. Very nice it was to have a week off and not worry about top echelon racing. Very good week of racing indeed. I think results, bear for themselves, really. Not really a week for Classic Watch with no classics, but I think the site might have done all right with other horses. Not that we track these sort of things anyway. Right, what I've got coming up for you today, we're getting back on the Classic Trail. Today, this week, and this upcoming week is the Irish Derby, Grade 1 race for 3-year-olds over the Curragh. Next month is the Irish Oaks as well. We will obviously be taking a look at them, as well as the upcoming, well, I say upcoming, a few months away, UK St Leger over at Doncaster in the north of England. We've got a couple of classics as well that also include older horses. The pre-Royal Oak, the French St Leger, and we've also got, after the two Irish middle distance classics, we have the Irish St Leger as well. But today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the progress of all the Classic Watch 2024 horses and Possibles in Germany. It's about to go up a level, I think it's fair to say, in Germany. I don't think there's been one Grade 1 race all season so far, and we are currently coming towards the last week of June. But there's been plenty of trials. There's already been two classics, the German 2000 and the German 1000 guineas. So I think it's only fair to take a look at the progress of all the German horses so far. There's a danger of them being left off, and nobody wants that. You know, these horses play a crucial part, even though they are in essence only going really for one Group 1 each, the German Derby and the German Oaks, two Group 1 races. A lot of the German Group 1 races are for older horses, 3-year-olds and above, later in the season. But there is the two 3-year-old only classics that we are looking to take out with the German horses. I think we have 4. They've all done reasonably well, I think it's fair to say. But they've also, admittedly, been frustrating. The first 2 we're going to take a look at are very similar horses with very similar profiles. And why wouldn't they be? Because they are both very closely related. ClassicWatch24.great/site.net is where people can find all these horses. The Roll of Honour, it's fair to say, needs a bit of a update, and you'll see there that there's the German trained horses section on the website. A quick right click there, an open tab will open you to all the German horses. The first of which we are going to take a look at is Maigret, a colt by Counter Attack out of a dam called Minoris, who herself was sired by Daberism. She actually won a listed race at 2, as did both of the ones on this dam line. The filly did as well. So these two, I think it's fair to say, were leading the way already on the Classic Watch site before the Classic started. Maigret himself, did actually come back in a Group 3 race. He was unbeaten at 2 out of 2, and he made his seasonal debut in the Dr. Bush Memorial, which was a Group 3 race held on the 28th of April at Krefeld. Apologies again, a lot of these commentaries will be in German, but that's something that people are going to look at horses in other parts of the world. That's something they're just going to have to get used to.
Erster Online-Banking-Preis, Dr. Busch Memorial Boxentüren auf an der 1700 Meter Marke. Alle Kandidaten gut auf die Beine gekommen. Die große Frage, wer übernimmt zunächst einmal die Spitze? Geography, der Winterfavorit, und innen der Ratibor-Sieger Wonderful Boy. Dann die Gruppe mit Schützenzauber, mit New Emerald, mit Maigret an der Innenseite, For the King of My Heart, und dann ist Shootout am Ende des Feldes. Die Gegenseite geht es hinunter. Geography führt vor Wonderful Boy in zweiter Position. Schützenzauber sehr eifrig in den Händen von Sean Byrne vor New Emerald. Maigret an der Innenseite, dann The King of My Heart, und Shootout auf Warten geritten am Ende des Feldes. Mitte gegenüber geht es weiter bei nicht allzu schneller Fahrt, das muss man sagen. Bojan Mosabayev konnte das Tempo rausnehmen, wie er es wollte, mit Geography vor Schützenzauber, vor Wonderful Boy an der Innenseite, dann New Emerald, vor Maigret, vor The King of My Heart und vor Shootout. Ausgangs der Gegenseite durch den Schlussbogen mittlerweile hindurch. Geography eine Länge vor Schützenzauber, vor Wonderful Boy. Dann ist es New Emerald, Maigret an der Innenseite vor The King of My Heart. Er lässt sich reiten und Shootout versucht, die rote Laterne abzugeben. In Richtung Zielgeraden geht es im Dr. Busch Memorial und immer noch ist Geography in Front. Geography vor Schützenzauber, Wonderful Boy in der Bahnmitte. Maigret ist zum Zuschauen. Verdammt, New Emerald mit der Kondition. Vorne ist es Schützenzauber, Geography. Maigret hat innen jetzt die Lücke gefunden. Ganz außen New Emerald außen Wonderful Boy und Maigret an der Innenseite. Maigret trotz der Pause außen New Emerald. Wonderful Boy hat keine Antwort. Maigret gegen New Emerald. Maigret, was ist das für ein Star des Gestüt Karlshof? Trotz der Pause, trotz allen Problemen gewinnt er das Dr. Busch Memorial. Überlegen gegen New Emerald, gegen Wonderful Boy. Dann Geography vor Schützenzauber, vor Shootout und vor The King of My Heart.
Well, good performance there by Maigret to take out the Group 3 race at 3. To go with the listed race, he won at 2. The race was just over a mile. You'll see there 1 mile and 99 yards. So that really put Maigret in pretty good shape, you would say, heading towards the first German classic of the season, the German 2000 Guineas. We'll check back with him recently, but before that, we have to look at one that is very closely related to him. In fact, on the same dam line as him, which was the Group 3 2-year-old winner, Shigara, sired by Zarak out of a dam called Shebang, who herself was sired by Monson. Again, good form. Group 3 winning 2-year-old, the highest level we'd won at 2 in Germany with any of our horses. And I think it is the highest level of race there is for a German trained 2-year-old. I don't think there is any grade 2 2-year-old races in Germany at all. But Shigara, very interesting horse, I think, going into the classic preparation. She made her debut in a listed race at Dusseldorf on the 5th of May, called the Henkel Stuten Prize, and over just short of a mile this race, and the horse had already won at Group 3 level, don't forget, as a 2-year-old.
So, Dakota Girl in Position und Boxen auf zum Henkel-Stuten-Preis. 5. Rennen am heutigen Sonntag. Gut kommt Satwa raus, die wie zuletzt in England hier an die Spitze möchte. Innen ist aber Shagara gleich zur Stelle und außen auch Waldfrieda in Position. Aber die Spitze bekommt Satwa mit Laura Kaffle. Dahinter an der Innenseite Shagara, außen dann jetzt an 3. Position ist Emily aufgerückt. Dann an 4. Position innen davon Waldfrieda, außen davon Waldfrieda. Dann geht's weiter innen mit Pacifica und hinten im Feld haben wir Dakota Girl, daneben galoppiert Princess Valentina. Es geht durch den Bogenausgangs der Kastanienallee, den Berg nun hinauf und Satwa setzt die Pace. Führt hier mit 1,5 Längen etwa vor Shagara, dahinter an der Außenseite Emily an 3. Stelle, Pacifica folgt, dicht auf Waldfrieda mit Dakota Girl und dahinter ist auch Princess Valentina dicht auf. So geht's dann den Berg weiterhin hinauf und dann langsam Richtung Schlussbogen. Satwa unverändert vorn mit 1,5 Längen vor Shagara, dahinter jetzt jetzt außen Waldfrieder frisch, kommt dann die dritte Position, Pacifica dahinter mit Emily, dann innen Dakota Girl, die auch um Anschluss bemüht ist und dann ist außen auch Prinzess Valentina dabei. So geht's in den Einlauf jetzt hinein und die letzten 450 Meter werden die Entscheidung bringen. Shagara greift hier Satwa an, innen kommt Dakota Girl mit dem Angriff, weiter außen wird Waldfrieder jetzt gebracht, aber vorne immer noch Satwa mit Shagara, dahinter an der Innenseite Pacifica mit Dakota Girl, Emily ist auch noch dabei und außen dann Waldfrieder, aber vorne Satwa mit Shagara, die kämpft außen, aber hat sich noch nicht geschlagen gegeben. Warum auch? Satwa und Shagara im Zweikampf in der Siegentscheidung und Shagara außen jetzt im Vorteil. Satwa kommt nochmal zurück. Shagara aber gewinnt den Henkel-Stutenpreis vor Satwa, dahinter Pacifica, Emily, dann Dakota Girl, Prinzess Valentina bis hin zu Waldfrieder.
Well, I don't know about that race. I thought at the time when I watched it, and I think so more now, that I think the jockey there was a bit cheeky on ours, weren't he? He didn't want to really hit Shigara too much. The 6-4 favourite there, ridden by Andras Starker. So Maigret and Shigara before the Guineas had both kind of done the opposite of each other. Maigret won a listed race at 2 and a Group 3 race at 3, while Shigara won a Group 3 race at 2 and a listed race at 3. It's fair to say, though, I think, that with both of them, when it came to the 2 Guineas races, it was hard not to think that both Maigret and Shigara could have had a good chance, We'll now look at them 2 races, I think. It's only fair to look at the German 2,000 Guineas, a Group 2 race, worth €125,000. And then we will have a look at how the performance is of our horse, Maigret.
Max Basilica, German 2000 Guinness, erstes klassisches Rennen des Jahres bei uns in Deutschland. Boxentüren auf an der 1600 Meter Marke. Ein Traumstart. Alle sind sie gut auf die Beine gekommen und Startplatz 10 war kein Problem für Devil's Point, denn er übernimmt direkt die Spitze vor Ten Bob, Tony Haverty, also alle 3 Engländer vorne vor Ironman an der Innenseite, dann Maigret, Wikinger an der Außenseite vor Geography, dann Gorgan, 3 Längen bis zu Penalty, 2 Längen bis zu Cortado. Da wartet einer vorne auf gar keinen. 67 km/h, die hier vorgelegt werden von Devil's Point und SDS Silvestre de Sousa vor Haverty, vor Ten Bob, Tony, alle Engländer vorne, Ironman an der Innenseite, dann Maigret vor Geography, der hat keine Lage gefunden, vor Wikinger, dann ist es Gorgan an der Innenseite, Cortado und dann Penalty am Ende des Feldes. Gute 8 Längen trennen die Kandidaten, wo es durch den Bogen hindurch geht, in den Kumho St. Mark's Basilica German 2000 Guinness und vorne Devil's Point. Ten Bob, Tony lässt sich als erster reiten, der Haverty lässt sich reiten, Ironman an der Innenseite, dann Geography, Maigret braucht eine Lücke, steckt im Moment im Verkehr fest, Gorgan, Cortado, Penalty und Wikinger fällt ans Ende des Feldes zurück, immer noch ist Devil's Point vorne, Devil's Point vor Ten Bob, Tony, aber jetzt kommt Maigret in der Bahnmitte, aber noch ist Devil's Point vorne, außen Gorgan und ganz außen rollt Penalty heran, noch Devil's Point, aber jetzt kommen die Deutschen, jetzt kommt Gorgan, jetzt kommt Maigret, Ten Bob, Tony und außen Penalty, Devil's Point, Penalty, Gorgan, Devil's Point, außen Penalty und Gorgan, Devil's Point gewinnt die Guinness gegen Penalty, gegen Gorgan, aber da wurde es auch eng für Ten Bob, Tony und da sind wir mal gespannt, was die Rennleitung das sich anguckt, denn da wurde es eng, Tom Marquardt musste mal kurz in den Sattel aufsteigen, was für ein tolles Finale, Startzielsieg.
Pretty good performance there, I think, from the UK-based runner there. Devil's Point, trained by David Manouzier in the UK. Maigret, unfortunately, could only finish 5th in that race. You have to say, really, that on the day, it was a bit of an anticlimactic performance after we'd seen him win the Group 3 in such a tremendous style. It was disappointing, really, that he couldn't have had a classic, albeit a Group 2, to his record, finishing in only 5th place. Since then as well, unfortunately, Maigret has had another defeat. He was finished 5th again when he raced against his older horses on his first European trip, racing against 3-year-old and older horses in Italy. In Milan, when he finished 5th in the Gran Premio di Milano, Group 3 race, over 1 mile and 2 furlongs. So after such an interesting start to the season, winning at Crefeld, Maigret has flattened out somewhat with 2 fifth places. So he looks up against it. I think he's still entered in the Derby, I think, Maigret. I'm not 100% sure what race is the horse is entered in. Let's have a look, see if it shows us. It does somewhere, I think. I must be wrong. He might not be in the Derby. I thought actually they came up on this page, the first page. It's a site, turf/times, that I think if people are following German racing, they will definitely have to get used to. It is a site that is what it is, unfortunately. But the Deutsche Gallop site is so bad that people have to use other sites. They want you to pay for everything on the Deutsche Gallop site, or at least pay with information. I can't encourage people to sign up to them. So it is what it is. People just have to look other places. But yeah, 2 fifth places for Maigret so far. And you'll see there, though, that his run at Crefeld when he beat New Emerald was actually given on the UK sites a Racing Post rating of 114, which really ain't a bad performance. It'd been good enough to win probably a UK 3-year-old fillies race. And I think it's one worse than what the winner of the Oaks done in the UK. So pretty good performance there on the day. But unfortunately, as of yet, the horse hasn't managed to take a classic out. We'll go back now to Shigara. Shigara, of course, lined up in the fillies version, the German 1,000 guineas, again worth €125,000 to the winner. And again, rather like her relative Maigret, she was one that I was hoping really could get involved in the finish here. They both won trials. Why would people not think that? Let's see how she got on.
Zur Seite ist und Boxen auf. Der Starterfolg zu den Wempe 104. German 1000 Guineas. So, jetzt schauen wir mal, wer sich an die Spitze setzen kann. Waldfrieder von außen hat einen guten Start. Three Havana's ist gut gestartet, ebenso wie Kös Likely. Und Kös Likely geht nach vorn. Innen Emily, außen Three Havana's. Dann weiter außen auch jetzt Geologist auf dem Weg nach vorn. Kös Likely jetzt mit Geologist. Zwischen den beiden ist Three Havana's gut dabei. An 4. Position. Dahinter sehen wir auch Darnation schon aufgerückt. So geht's jetzt hier aus dem Bogen heraus, gleich den Berg hinauf. Waldfrieder ist dann die nächste. Emily an der Innenseite, Marcella folgt mit außen davon Ayada, dann macht Shagara etwas Boden gut, oder liegt da jetzt natürlich erstmal im Mittelfeld. Dann haben wir Lady Mary, die ist schon ein bisschen geritten und so geht's den Berg hinauf. Pacifica ist die nächste und Words of Peace noch hinten im Feld. Schlusslicht ist Royal Knight. Es geht jetzt schon mit fliegenden Fahnen in den Schlussbogen und vorne ist weiterhin Kös Likely. Geologist an 2. Stelle, Darnation auf Platz 3, die Engländer 1, 2, 3, dahinter Three Havana's mit Emily. An der Außenseite kommt jetzt von weiter hinten der Versuch von Lady Mary, die gerade erreicht, 400 Meter noch. Kös Likely legt hier scheinbar locker zu. Kös Likely, Darnation setzt nach. Three Havana's außen ist aber sehr gut dabei und startet den Angriff. Three Havana's kommt, vorne Kös Likely mit Three Havana's. Jetzt ist Darnation mit Adri de Vries zur Stelle. Die Favoritin geht heran an Kös Likely und nach vorn. Darnation an der Spitze und Darnation wird auch hier die Guineas gewinnen. Darnation, die Siegerin der 104. German 1000 Guineas. Dahinter wird es noch spannend für Rang 2, Kös Likely und an der Außenseite Three Havana's. Emily wird 4. und Royal Knight auf Platz 5, dann Lady Mary, Ayada und der Rest.
Very disappointing on the day, I think that was. Group 3 winning 2-year-old, listed winning, trial horse, Shigara. In fact, only managed to beat 2 home in the Group 2 German 1,000 Guineas. Look, good job these races weren't Group 1s. Else we might have been very disappointed to have lost Group 1 Classic in that way. Shigara very well beaten on the day another UK trained runner, the Carl Burke trained Darnation, taking out the German 1000 guineas. So both German Group 2 classics taken out by UK raiders. But like I said, on the day there, you'll see Shigara went off a fair price, 9-2, and she could only finish 11th. Very disappointing performance on the day. I think people have to say that. Nothing else they can say. The best run of Shigara's career was actually when she won that listed race, won into a mark of 100. This according to the UK rated Racing Post. 72 when she won, when she was 11th in the German Guineas, and in the early 90s, twice as a 2-year-old. So already the Racing Post has the filly around a stone inferior to Maigret, 14, at this stage. Shigara is one, I think, that's entered in the Oaks. She's entered in the German Oaks, which is on the 4th of the 8th. So over a month away still, the German Oaks. So if Maigret was in the Derby, it would have come up on that page. Shigara hasn't had a run at this stage since she was seen in the Guineas in May. And hopefully, who knows whether she will go straight to the German Oaks or whether they will give her a run before. Hopefully, she'll run a lot better than that, it's fair to say. The next ones we're going to take a look at. We're going to go up to the old middle distance horses now, I think. Borna was the first one, sired a colt. Both colts, I think these are, yeah. Sired by Saxon Warrior, out of a dam called Kingdom Come, sired by King's Best. Beaten a couple of times in Italian pattern races. As a 2-year-old, he had managed to win a race. First time out, that's when I identified him. At 3, he came back with a win in a conditions race. Again in Italy, to get his 3-year-old season off to a winning start. And then, to be fair to me, I was very surprised to see him entered in the Group 2 Italian Derby. You know, but this is an interesting race to watch, I think. So let's watch the Group 2 Italian Derby.
Tutto pronto? Si aprono le gabbie al 141esimo Derby Italiano.
Again, the commentary is in Italian. I think I've stopped that as the Faraday cage that kicked in. I think it has, hasn't it? Oh no, the Faraday cage claims another Reprieve Media CIC broadcast. What can I say? This is the one of the fastest growing cities in the UK. This place, Peterborough. I live in the city centre. But yeah, little old Newman can't get a solid internet signal in his house. So what I'll have to do is... it's sorted itself out.
Edizione 2024.
Let's go back, shall
Più
we?
veloce è
To the
Amone
Italian
che
Derby.
sfrutta la corda bassa e da seguito sul ruolo di front run, portandosi subito in vantaggio. Caos Calmo ne segue le mosse in seconda posizione. Partito bene anche Royal Supremacy con la giubba rossa e Cap Marrone in terza. All'interno lungo la corda c'è Bateau Blanc. Poi alle spalle dei primi troviamo anche la figura di Borna, riconoscibile dalla giubba verde con il cap rosa. Dietro a questi troviamo anche la figura di Cicotai, ancora The Tweed per corsie più esterne. Al centro del gruppo c'è The King of My Heart, The Tweed. All'interno c'è anche Argentum che precede Shabazi. In ultima posizione troviamo Believer. Si procede in quest'ordine con Amone che sta gestendo parziale non rovente in questa fase. Sempre in vantaggio Caos Calmo e si è messo alla sua 3/4. In terza posizione all'interno segue Bateau Blanc. Ancora in quarta Maturlo di dentro. Poi Man with the Plan, Borna che galoppa per corsie esterne a precedere Royal Supremacy, Argentum con la giubba interamente blu, poi The King of My Heart, Dark Defense, Believer che ha trovato un ottimo varco interno che precede Shabazi, ancora Cicotai, Melfi che galoppa in terzultima posizione, poi a chiudere il gruppo c'è De Tweed, si entra così addirittura d'arrivo con la prima scossa alla corsa data proprio da Monet. All'interno si presenta minaccioso dalla Francia Bateau Blanc, Caos Calmo che comincia a mettere una certa pressione, poi Borna che ancora non richiesto, all'esterno c'è anche Royal Supremacy, segue a ruota anche Dark Defense, siamo a 600 dal traguardo, la corsa sta entrando nel vivo con Borna che comincia la sua progressione. All'esterno c'è Royal Supremacy, Caos Calmo che per ora ha respinto gli attacchi dall'esterno, prova a rinvenire anche Melfi, tra questi c'è Dark Defense, all'esterno di tutti Cicotai, a 200 dal traguardo, Borna è davanti nei confronti di Royal Supremacy, Caos Calmo e Melfi che deve dare l'ultima scossa nel tratto conclusivo. Borna vince il 141esimo derby italiano. Secondo posto per l'inglese Royal Supremacy, al terzo Caos Calmo.
Brings a smile to my face every time I watch that race. It's fair to say. Just shows the power of what we are doing here. You know, I've not even looked at Italian racing. And there we go. A horse identified in Germany has taken out the Group 2 Derby Italiana. They might not be able to win their own Group 2 classics in Germany, but this horse has gone abroad to Italy and done the job. Group 2 winner, sired by Saxon Warrior. And it's no surprise to see that this horse, next month, for a fortnight's time or so, the Group 1 German Derby at Hamburg, firmly on the radar for the Italian Derby winner, Borna. Very good performance as well. No fluke about it. People watch the race again. They'll see that the horse came into the straight and he was absolutely trotting all over him. Yeah, I couldn't quite believe what I'd identified there. That's the second time to me that horse has looked good. If people watch the video where I identify the horse, they will see that I said I was impressed with the way it travelled. And there, in a Group 2 race, a classic, beautifully travelling horse. Very good. And it will be interesting to see if this horse can play a part in the German Derby moving forward. But again, if anybody doubts the power of my processes, then what can I say? Absolutely fantastic work from me. Fantastic work by the horse. And I have to say fantastic work by Connections, really, because I've followed Darius racing a few times and their horses are definitely worth taking a look at. Especially the well-bred ones are the only ones I bother with. But very good horse, Borna, and it was very satisfying to be able to take out the Italian Derby. Obviously, next season, we might be trying to defend our crown. You know, I've found the Italian 2-year-old pattern. Obviously, you'll see by the fact that I've just shown you a race there from an Italian website in Italian. I've got a fair idea of what's going on out there and when. So there might be an Italian racing tab on Classic Watch 2024 next season. Italian trained horses. But again, to be taken out by a raider from Germany to Italy, you know, this is why people really do need to pay very, very, very close attention to this channel. Now, I can't really put it any more succinctly than that. And the site, classicwatch24.great/site.net. You know, some things, they just are what they are, boys and girls. You'll see there, Borna was given a mark of 109 by the Racing Post when he won the Italian Derby, which is over 1 mile and 3 furlongs. You'll see there, beaten a couple of times in a pattern racing last season at 2. But that performance of 109 really has put him into, I think, right into the German Derby picture. It's fair to say. The last horse we're going to take a look at is Narrativo. Narrativo, another colt sired by Adlerflug out of a dam called Nicella. I mean, this horse here I thought was very unlucky not to win a pattern race at 2. Very, very unlucky indeed. He was actually brought back out in France. He went to the Prix Hockart in France for his first run of the season for a German trained horse to send him to France. I thought, oh, go on then, lad. off you go. Unfortunately, he was well beaten on the day, but that might have put him very, very well indeed for the Union Rennen, the Group 2 Union Rennen, which I think is, from what I can gather, is one of the leading German derby trials in Germany, and unless you count the Italian derby. But this is the Union Rennen Group 2, and I was hoping for a good run here, if I was honest, from Narrativo. Let's see how we did.
Für Sparkasse Köln-Bonn, 189. Union. Boxentüren auf zum ultimativen Derby-Test, 2200 Meter die Distanz. Alle Kandidaten zunächst einmal gut abgesprungen. Wer übernimmt die Spitze? Wonderful Boy und Palladium an der Außenseite gesellt sich hinzu. Genauso wie Anspruch innen heute ein wenig verdeckter vorgetragen. Vor Aleno, vor Any Moon, dann Köln, Narrativo, Sign of Stars heute auch mit komplett anderer Taktik. Genauso wie Stingray. So geht es in den Scheibenstraßenbogen mittlerweile hinein. 3 Längen Vorteil für Wonderful Boy. Vor außen Palladium mit der Nase im Wind, vor innen galoppierend, dann Anspruch, dann die Gruppe mit Narrativo, mit Any Moon, 3 Längen bis zu Kölle, begleitet von Narrativo außen, dann ist es innen galoppierend, Stingray und letztes Pferd ist mittlerweile Sign of Stars. In der Gegenseite geht es weiter, 1 Länge Vorteil für Wonderful Boy in den Händen von Hugo Bouton, vor Palladium außen, Kevin Stott, dann Any Moon, anderer starker, Aleno, René Picholek, innen Anspruch im Röttgendress, Martin Seidel, vor Narrativo, Adri de Vries, innen Kölle, Eduardo Pedrosa, dann Stingray, Sean Byrne und am Ende des Feldes schaut sich das Tore Hammer Hansen alles an im Sattel von Sign of Stars. Es geht die Gegenseite hinunter, es gibt überhaupt keine Positionsveränderungen, das Tempo ist konstant gleichmäßig vorgelegt von Wonderful Boy, dem Ratibor-Sieger, der führt vor Palladium außen, vor Anspruch, vor Aleno, vor Any Moon, der ein aufwendiges Rennen hat, dann Kölle, vor Narrativo, vor Stingray und Sign of Stars nach wie vor am Ende des Feldes. Das trennt ungefähr 7-8 Längen, wo es durch den Schlussbogen bereits hindurchgeht und Wonderful Boy an der Spitze marschiert. Vor Palladium, vor Anspruch Any Moon, dann Aleno lässt sich schon so ein bisschen reiten, der Ittlinger, dann Kölle innen, Narrativo, Stingray und Sign of Stars in der Zielgeraden angekommen. Wonderful Boy vor Palladium, der ist ein großer Gegner. Any Moon, Anspruch und jetzt wird Narrativo hier in die Entscheidung geworfen mit ganz schnellen Beinen außen. Adri de Vries, aber Wonderful Boy ist immer noch vorne. Wonderful Boy vor Palladium. Außen rollt Narrativo heran und innen vor allen Dingen Stingray jetzt auch noch. Vorne Narrativo mit Wonderful Boy. Stingray wenig Platz. Aleno nach dem Schwächemoment. Narrativo, ein beeindruckender Sieger in der Union und der Stalleinlauf für Ittlingen perfekt. Mit Aleno auf Platz 2, dann Anspruch Palladium. Stingray, dann Wonderful Boy. Any Moon, eine Enttäuschung vor Kölle und vor Sign of Stars, der nie vom Ende des Feldes wegkam. Narrativo gewinnt die Union und das sah richtig gut aus.
Wow. A definite case of deja vu with these two horses. They have done exactly what Maigway and Shigara did before the German derby. I thought Narrativo has put in a very good performance there over the near 1 mile, 3 furlongs at, where was that race? At Cologne in the Union Rennen. A Group 2 win to go with Borner's Group 2 win. So we've had 4 races, 4 horses. They've won 4 races, 1 each, a listed, a Group 3 and 2 Group 2s at this stage. I thought there, personally, the further Narrativo went, the better he got. You saw signs of that in the race we looked at when I first identified the horse as well. He looked to need every inch of the trip that day, over whatever distance that was. And I think the same is there again. I mean, as soon the horse was just going further away, the further the race went. He's a nice horse, I think, Narrativo, passing the post in first there, ridden by jockey Adri de Vries. So again, Narrativo, you'll see there, he was in fact third in the pre-Hockart, which I suppose, there was only a 5-runner race though, and he was quite well beaten on the day. But he bounced back up in grade and back in Germany, taking out the Union Rennen. So we've had a horse beaten in France, winning in Italy, winning in Germany. They're winning all over the place in Central Europe. It's fair to say it really is good to be able to open up this scene moving forward. Germany, and especially Italy as well. Hopefully the Italian racing will figure more in 2025, should I decide to keep the project running. But we'll have to look now. Narrativo again was another one. Awarded 109 for that 1 3/4 length victory. By the Racing Post at Cologne, he was awarded 98 for his third place. He was beaten 5 1/4 lengths there, you see, at Longchamp when he was ridden by Borgeran Mirzabayev. And that was a very unlucky defeat, really, last year in the Group 3, Price to Winter Favoriton as well. Beaten the neck by geography. It could have easily been another winner at 2 in the pattern for us. But I think it's fair to say in this video that things have gone quite well so far in Germany. Very early days, it's fair to say. This is only I tried to have a little go at German racing on Reprieve Media CIC racing. But then I didn't know the races weren't on race bets that I saw. The racing, the Italian site I never knew nothing about. I identified a couple. Alson, I think he won a Grade 1 in France, Alson. And we also had Rubiat, who kept racing in Italy. That was quite frustrating at the time. But I think it's fair to say German racing is now part of the portfolio that we look at here. There's not really any excuse for looking at it. As you can see, both guineas have been taken out by UK-based raiders. So UK people looking to maybe look at theirs can even easily look at the racing in Germany as easily as they do in, say, France. Now, it's not through the official Deutsche Gallop site. People need to find their own resources and stick with them. But I'm sure if they're resourceful enough to be able to consider gambling, then due diligence and hard work and responsibility is being adhered to. You know, why would you? No one, I'm sure, would go and back a horse in a different country without ever looking at a single horse that had run in that country. You know, so hopefully people are doing that anyway. Right, I'm going to leave this video here now. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring this video to you. I think it was a necessary to do video, and I think it's tied in quite well. Heading to the German 1 mile 4 furlong Grade 1 Classics, the Deutsche Derby, and the Price de Diana. I think they're cool. Like I said, one of them in the 7th, fortnight away, the German Derby, and then at the beginning of the 8th month, the German Oaks. What I will do is I will leave a copy of all the Classic Watch 2024 Possibles at the end of this video, so people will be able to look at the Possibles as well in a playlist. And I will also give everybody an opportunity who has watched this video without subscribing. I will give you all an opportunity to subscribe to the video. Keep an eye on the channel moving forward. But for now, it's more than happy if you don't. You know, just use the channel however you want to use it. But for now, I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you very much, everybody. Irish Oaks this week. German Derby next week. Hopefully, we'll begin to review some more. We've still got to review a couple of middle distance classics in Japan and one of the intermediate classics in France, the French Oaks. So we'll be back with more race reviews, I think, during the 2024 flat season in due course. But for now, take care, everybody. Have a fantastic day. Look after yourselves and your loved ones. Goodbye.